It's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So in this video, we're going to talk about what we started talking about. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, when we heard that the girl who claims to be Madeleine McCann, or thinks she possibly might be Madeleine McCann, arrived at the airport in Bristol, arrived into the UK because she actually lives in Poland, and was immediately arrested. You know, and it begs question, how did people know she was coming to the Bristol airport? Maybe she put it herself on her social media. I don't know. I don't follow her, Julia, on her social media. Maybe she said that she was coming. Anyway, however they knew, the police were right there to arrest her. And it still begs a question to me. Whatever you think of Julia, whatever you think of the McCann case, just seems to me, you know, how many people in this world or in Britain get stalked and never get hardly any response from the police? And the McCanns, it just seems they always get a little bit special treatment, don't they? But do you know what? I'm not saying it's a bad thing that she was arrested. I don't, stalking is a terrible thing. I've suffered stalking years ago. Not that I ever got any help from the police, but, it was many, many years ago. I don't know what would happen now if you were stalked. All I know is every day on my Twitter feed, on my X feed, is talking about women who've been murdered by their partners or their ex-boyfriends or, whatever. And the police didn't do anything. But anyway, of course, this is the McCanns, and the McCanns have a little special bit of power, don't they, for some unknown reason. Now, as I say, I'm not saying that they're not justified in their complaints. I think they are justified in their complaints. And we're going to look at actually what Julia has been charged with and what she's going to... she's not only charged with stalking Kate and Jerry, she is charged with stalking the twins, Amelie and is it Amalia or Amelie and Sean. Now, that is terrible because they've done nothing, whatever may have happened or may not have happened in the past with Madeleine and the McCanns, the parents. It's terrible for her to stalk her siblings, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm not, what I want to make clear in this video is that I'm not saying she shouldn't have been arrested. I agree that she's been arrested. Just I'm a little bit concerned that other people don't get such, quick results. And then the other thing I just wanted to look at before we continue is I was looking at the photos of Julia and of Madeleine, and one of the things that she always says is this thing in her eye. Is it a colmar or something it's called? And I was looking at it and I thought, isn't hers in a completely different eye? Madeleine's, we can see from this picture of little Madeleine, hers is in her left eye as we look at the camera anyway. I don't know, it might be the other way around if you're looking at it. Whereas Julia's is in the other eye. So, why am I in a parallel universe or something? It's in a different eye. So it can't possibly be her, apart from the fact I think she looks absolutely nothing like her. And I mean, obviously it's difficult to tell because Julia, obviously, she's an adult now. But, I can't see any resemblance there whatsoever. I don't see the resemblance between her and Amelie, except that in the hair, she's got similar hair to Amelie. But, but the main thing, if you look at that, isn't her... that thing in her eye, isn't it in the wrong eye? Please tell me, am I going mad or something? It's in the wrong eye. Anyway, that's what I just wanted to say before we start. So I'm going to say my thanks. I'm going to say hello to people. And then we're going to have a look at see what is happening today in court. Don't know if we'll get it, if she'll actually get sentenced today. I've never seen anything happen so quick. Just shows you they can work quickly when they want to, the police, can't they, in the court system? You know, how many people have to wait years for their justice? But it just shows you when they want to. You know, there she is. She's up in court. And I think what they'll do is deport her. They will remove her from the UK. I think that's what they'll do. I don't know if they'll give her, surely they're not going to send her to prison, are they? Or are they? You know, they should send people to prison for stalking, but they don't normally. You know, they're lucky if they get like a rap on the knuckles. So what are they going to do with Julia? Are they going to deport? I think they might deport her, but anyway, we'll find out. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you lovely people out there, all of you that watch my channel, leave me lovely messages. Thank you so much. Comments, you interact with each other, but you don't, you know, you're not horrible to each other. We all have our views. Lots of us have different opinions, but we don't get angry with each other on this channel, do we? We are allowed to say our opinions. We're allowed to give our views, as long as we don't attack anybody else or we're not nasty to anyone, including the families, you know, including the McCanns, because, you know, whatever, they have been stalked. I do believe they've been stalked. They have lost their daughter, whatever you think happened to their daughter. But you know what? It's not our position. One thing I've come to realise in life is it's not for me to judge other people. I've not led a perfect life. I might not have done some of the things that people have done that I talk about on my channel. But even so, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody should judge. So yeah, we give our views in a polite way, don't we? Yeah, so I want to say thank you, especially to my members as well. So my subscribers, all of you that if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Last night we had the members live. Every Thursday is the members live. That was a very interesting one, going through some of the things I've got on my computer from the Nicola Bulley case. That's there on the members' videos. I think it was very interesting. And I only got through a little bit of it. You know, we'll be carrying on with that as we go along, because so much information that I've got stored on my computer from that sort of, you know, that was like the most high profile case, wasn't it? The Nicola Bulley case. And we'll be looking at that bit by bit through the members. If not in the lives, I'll be releasing videos. I want to go through all the things I've got. I've been deleting things that I don't think are important, if you like, or things that there was so much at the time. Anyway, so look out for that on the members. Apart from the members, I want to thank people who've sent me super stickers, PayPal'd me, sent me a nice email, left a nice comment. Any positive way you've contributed towards my channel, thank you so much. Okay, so let me say hello to everyone who's here now. So, hi, sheep farmer. Oh, and I want to say hello to you lurkers at home. I know some people don't like to join in the chat. I want to say hello to replay crew. Thank you for watching on replay. And yeah, and now I'm going to say hello to people that some people like to actively chat, other people don't. Some of you out there might be trolleys, my trolley dollies. Thank you for watching. Yeah. So, hi, Sheep Farmer. Hi, David. Hi, Michelle. Hi, ACW. Certainly was Swift Justice. Hi, Moonbeam. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Mike. Not as far as I know, Mike, but I haven't looked, to be fair. Hi, Heather. Hi, Jacqueline. Oh, no, you shouldn't get slated anywhere. I mean, listen, we all disagree about, you know, often we disagree about things. You know, I can, or even my regular chatters, we have disagreements, of course. But, you know, some people can't take it. You know, they'll say to me, oh, you don't like it if someone has a different view, but they don't like me having a different view. You know, this is my channel. I will give my views and anyone can give their views as long as they're not nasty about them. Okay, so let's have a look. What's going on? And it's interesting to hear what she's actually been charged with, I think. So this is Sky News. A woman has been charged with stalking Madeleine McCann's family. Julia of course, what we have to remember as well, we don't know all the ins and outs of what she's done or not done. We don't know. We only know, of course, she's been bandied around all the YouTube channels. Lots of YouTube channels using her, to giving her a chance to tell her story. Yeah, that's fine. But also knowing 100% that she is not Madeleine McCann and not asking her the right questions. That she's just putting her on there. God, the feeling I get from these YouTube channels, they all know each other. They all just sort of pass her around. Honestly, it's like a violation to me. But it makes me feel ill what they're doing. Just taking advantage of her. I don't hate Julia. I don't think, I genuinely think she has been taken advantage of. Now, of course, and there is also, the thing is, why haven't the McCanns, or have they done a DNA test, or don't they feel the need to, because that Colmer thing in her eye is in the wrong guy, so what's the point? Or is it because the DNA that she had tested proved that she was Polish origin? She's saying now it didn't. The thing is, you can go on social media and say anything, whereas this family, she's been to their door, she's phoned up, she's contacted the police, she's done so many things. Now, maybe will she have her DNA taken because she's been arrested for stalking? I don't know if that means that they would take her DNA. But, you may think, well, why don't the McCanns just do a DNA test? How are they so convinced that she is not their daughter? And I have my theories about that. I think they know 100% she is not their daughter because they know exactly what happened to their daughter. That's what I would say. But anyway, maybe they should just do a test, put it to bed once and for all. What they're scared of. There's an argument there, isn't there? Just do the test. The millions of pounds that have been spent on this case over the years, one simple DNA test would put this particular thing to rest, wouldn't it? So Julia Wandel, also known as Julia Wandelt, and I'm going to read you a Spanish article which gives a completely different name altogether, was arrested at Bristol Airport on Wednesday, Leicestershire police said. She is accused of stalking and causing serious alarm or distress against Madeleine's parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, between the 2nd of May last year and 15th of February this year. So that's quite a specific time period, isn't it? Between the 2nd of May last year and 15th of February this year. Now, we do not know exactly what she's done. We know things. We've heard the audio of her going to their door. We've heard the audio of her phoning, telephoning them. But there may be other things that we just don't know about. It's all possible, isn't it? So so not only the McCanns, not only the parents, she's also, so Wandel allegedly turned up at their home, sent letters, calls, voicemails, WhatsApp messages, which amounted to stalking, court documents show. She is also accused of stalking Madeleine's sister Amelie between 3rd of January and the 21st of April 2024, and her brother Sean between the 27th of November and the 29th of December 2024. Now, we don't know about that, do we? Well, I didn't. Anyway, some people might know. What did she do? Has she tried to phone them? Has she turned up at their door? So she's not only accused, so it's important to remember, she's not only accused of stalking the McCanns, the parents, she's accused of stalking the siblings as well, which is terrible, isn't it? And, you know, maybe that explains why in the last vigil for Madeleine, not only because Sean has never gone to one of the vigils, but last year Amelie did go to the vigil. But not last year, was it the year before? And then the McCanns, nobody turned up at the vigil, the last vigil for Madeleine. None of the family turned up. Is that why? Because she might be there stalking them. I mean, stalking's a terrible thing. It's horrible. So, you know, she's not been very, you know, I feel sorry for Julia in one way, but in another way, she shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be doing that. She should not be stalking, especially Madeleine's siblings. So the 60-year-old woman, her friend from Wales, who was also arrested on suspicion of stalking, she's been released on bail, but not for Julia. No bail for Julia. Madeleine's disappearance has become the world's most mysterious missing child case. Madeleine disappeared in Portugal's Algarve back in 2007 when on holiday with her family. I think most of us know this story. There's not many people on this earth now that don't know the story of Madeleine McCann and how she disappeared. Her parents had left their daughter in bed with her twin siblings while they had dinner with friends at a nearby restaurant in Praia-da-Luz when the then 3-year-old disappeared on 3rd of May. The couple from Leicestershire have criticised Portuguese authorities for their investigation into her abduction. So, yeah, they were very critical of the Portuguese, weren't they? The Portuguese, basically, they believe that the McCanns know exactly what happened to Madeleine. You know, I don't think that'll ever change. And, of course, now there's a man Christian B., the man suspected of kidnapping her, will not face any charges in the foreseeable future, a prosecutor told Sky News earlier this year. So all that story of Christian B., that's going to come to nothing again. How much money has been spent on this case? And, you know, then it makes you think, why don't they just do a simple DNA test? They've spent enough money on it. You know, why not? But anyway, I just don't, because we don't know all the details. We don't know, do we? Everything. Okay, so hi K311Y. Yeah, it could be Moonbeam that she actually does believe it herself. Or then somebody had left a comment saying she's never said she is Madeleine McCann. She's just asking if she is. But I don't think that's true, because she has said definitely that she thinks she is Madeleine McCann. She made comments to Jerry, didn't she? But anyway, we won't go into that. We're not here to go into that today. Now, I want to just show you. Oh, I want to show you this one. So this is an article in the National World. It's more or less a similar information. Oh, let's just have a look at this. Now, I don't know if you remember, but then there was this loads of suspects over the years. Let's see. Do you remember when they went to see the Pope? Oh, when's that going to come up? Hang on. This is like a bit of a timeline. They went to see the Pope, for God's sake. Now, I just want to, actually, I want to stop that there. Where can I stop it? I don't think I can stop it. Anyway, never mind. So this Robert Murat, he was a suspect. The McCanns went off to meet the Pope. Yeah. They went off to meet the Pope, left their other two siblings with other people. And as I said in the previous video that I did about this, if I would have lost one child that I thought had been kidnapped, I certainly wouldn't be leaving my other children with anybody. I would not leave them for a minute. But oh no, the McCanns were off jetting over the world, talking to the Pope, having an audience with the Pope, going to see Oprah, you know, were they on Dr. Phil? I don't know if they were on Dr. Phil, but they were doing all those things, even though their daughter supposedly had been kidnapped. You couldn't leave your other kids. God, you'd be overprotective, wouldn't you, of your other children? Surely. So anyone who said it, they have, you know, basically threatened to sue anyone who says anything against them. And it was September the 7th, 2007, that Portuguese detectives made Jerry and Kate McCann formal suspects. Do you remember that? When they were going to the police station, the village there. Oh, I might have a look for those videos. Everyone was out there watching them as Kate went to give her statement. And then they decided to leave. That was when they decided to leave the area, wasn't it? They'd stayed there all that time, but jetting off, you know, going to see the Pope, going to see, be interviewed on Oprah, etc. But they were staying in the complex. They left their children there. I still can't get over that. They left their other two children there. Even though their daughter had been kidnapped from that complex, they still left their children in the same holiday club. And that to me will always seem suspicious. So then in September the 7th, they were made formal suspects. And then 2 days later, on September the 9th, they flew back to the UK. Yeah, now I haven't read, God, you can't get this to stop, hang on. I haven't read the book by Amaral, the detective. I'd like to, because it was banned, of course. When the book by Amaral first came out, it was banned. You know, a Portuguese judge banned further sales of Amaral's book. Now you can buy it, of course. But, you know, what the McCanns really, the way the McCanns have dealt with anyone criticising them over the years is they have, you know, taken them to court, haven't they? But eventually the book was allowed to be released again. Now, I haven't read Kate's book either. I don't know if any of you have read Kate's book, but that caused a stir, wasn't it? Because she made some very sex references in that book, and it was horrible, actually. I haven't read the book, but I've read the excerpts from it. Yeah, gosh, going back over all this, it's reminding me of how it was. So that's the church, of course. I've been to that church. I've been to the area. You know, I'm just thinking about this. I know it was a high-profile case, but, you know, just recently we've been, you know, following some cases from Spain or abroad, you know, all sorts of places. Nothing has ever, you know, when has the Prime Minister ever came out and spoken about things? Or, you know, why is this case attracted so much attention? You know, Ben Needham is another case that hasn't attracted the same attention. What is so special? And, you know, not that I don't think Madeleine deserves attention. Of course she does. But she doesn't deserve any more attention than any other missing child, does she? Or missing person. Why has there been so much attention put on this case? Just makes you wonder, doesn't it? So the British government says that the Madeleine McCann case has cost more than £10 million, but they don't seem to want to just do a blood, DNA test of Julia just to put that to rest. So they finally lost their libel case against Amaral. So a woman who is claimed to be Madeleine McCann has been charged with 4 counts of stalking. So this is what we know. She's been charged with 4 counts of stalking, 2 of which seem to be against Kate and Jerry, and the other 2 are against Madeleine's siblings, Amelie and Sean. 2 counts relate to offences between May the 2nd, 2024, February the 15th, 2025. 3rd count relates to offences between January the 3rd, 2024 and April the 21st, 2024. And the 4th count to offences between November 27th, 2024 and December 29th, 2024. So she's been remanded in custody and is due to appear at Leicester Magistrates Court today, the Force said. Okay, so now, I don't know if, has anybody heard anything? Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I agree, B. Landon. There's children in the UK that have been missing for decades that have had no funding. Why has Madeleine received so much funding? So she's been now. Honestly, how many cases have I covered where people are stalked, especially in this Love to Death series I've been doing? There's only 2 videos on there so far, but there's other videos that I've done. People are stalked to death. Now, I don't think that well, you never know, I suppose. You've got to be careful. You know, are really the McCanns in any danger to their lives from Julia? But people are out there being stalked, and that stalking is ending up in actually them being murdered. And they don't get, their stalkers don't get remanded in custody. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it makes me really a bit angry, this, because talk about 2-tier policing. Everyone's always going on about 2-tier policing. 2-tier policing is rich people get better treatment than your average person in the street who will ring and desperate for help. I've just been reading about a case today on Twitter that I'm going to highlight on my channel. A woman who literally phoned the police 4 times. Phone 999 on the night she was murdered, and nothing happened. And then she was murdered. And here we've got a woman, you know, arrested, put into prison, remanded in custody. So she's in custody. And if she's now in custody till the 7th of April, till the 7th of April, I mean, that's a long time, isn't it? How does she get remanded in custody till the 7th of April? And yeah, the woman that I was reading about today rang the police 4 times about her husband, who was threatening to kill her, rang the police 4 times in one night, and nobody put him in prison. And he ended up murdering her that night. Something wrong, isn't there? Just something wrong altogether with the British justice system. You can buy justice, can't you? And justice isn't supposed to be like that, is it? You know? I mean, for goodness sake, the 7th of April. Well, Mike, the photo of her arrest, etc., that will emerge at the trial or after the sentencing. That's quite normal, isn't it? That's what happened in the Sarah Sharif case. It took quite a while before it was released before the trial, the video of them being arrested at the airport. But yeah, well, maybe you're right. I don't know. Who knows? Gosh, now I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for Julia, because I don't think that Julia is Madeleine McCann. I literally don't believe it. I've never believed it. But having said that, I do think this is a bit extreme, isn't it? You know, other people don't get this same treatment if they're stalked, where they get actually remanded in custody until April. Oh my God. So she's going to spend at least 8 weeks in prison. That just seems, why didn't they just put her back on the plane? Because, of course, that's costing as well the British taxpayer more money. She's been remanded in custody. She's in prison till April. Why not just put her back on the plane and send her back to Poland and say she can't come back? Gosh. Right, let's just have a look. This really sort of made an impact on me when I saw it. If I can find the video. And I think I'm going to have to research it more, because do you remember the video after they were made Arguidos and they had to go to the police station? It was all over the news. Oh, let me just show you this. This I will show you. I wonder who does this look like? Oops. This is supposed to be, do you remember this? So this was supposed to be the key witness who was seen carrying a child. Oh, it just looks like Jerry, doesn't it? Do you remember this effort of a man seen in the Portuguese town of Praia da Luz? It looks nothing like Christian B, that's for sure. Right. Oh, and this picture, I mean, I've got, this is the apartment here, isn't it? Now, the actual complex is right round the corner here. You have to come out here, walk around, walk up here, walk down there into the complex. This apartment does not back onto where the restaurant is. But anyway, I think I need to put a video together again about this. But that was not Bruckner. That, of course, was Jerry, I think, if it was anyone. Looks a spit of him, to be honest. Allegedly. There's no way that looks like Christian Bauer, is it? So yeah, sorry, I was looking for. I want to see the video of as they were walking to the police station. Let's have a look at this. Maybe this. Yeah, these old news items. I mean, the beauty of the internet is things are still there, aren't they? Let's have a look at this, but I need to sit down one day and look properly. So this was Jerry when he was declared an arguido.
Just after midnight, Jerry McCann and his Portuguese lawyer emerged from the police station where he had been questioned for 8 hours. He looked stunned by the events of the past few days, and it became clear why when his lawyer revealed what had happened inside.
Kate and Jerry McCann have both been today declared arguido with no bail conditions, and no charges have been brought against them. The investigation continues.
Suspected of killing his daughter and disposing of her body, but neither he nor his wife have been charged with any crime. And though they must both fear what lies ahead, for now they remain free. It was an extraordinary evening in which hundreds of Portuguese citizens, as fascinated by this case as people in Britain and around the world, stood for hours waiting for news. Earlier in the day, they'd watched as Kate McCann left after her second day of intense questioning. At the beginning of the 5-hour interview, she was told she was being designated a suspect.
Yeah, so remember when they were declared arguidos. Yeah, I mean, I remember this case so clearly because I was here in Spain. It was all over the Spanish news, absolutely all over it. Anyway, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna compile like a thing with all the old news, a video with all the old news. Now, the other thing I just want to show. This is a Spanish article that I found because you do get different news in Spain. In Spain, they've always felt like the McCanns were guilty. You know, I'm not saying they are guilty. I'm just saying how the feeling has always been in Spain, more or less. And now what they're asking is, who is pulling the strings of the Polish Madeleine McCann? That's what that headline means. Who is pulling the strings of the Polish Madeleine McCann? Now, I would say that in general, here in Spain, it is thought that the McCanns did it. You know, they share the same view as the Portuguese do, that the McCanns did something. I mean, obviously, they don't know exactly what happened. So it's interesting when they're talking about Julia here in Spain, that they think that Julia has been manipulated by somebody. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, is she being manipulated by someone? Is she? She actually turned up at the McCann's house. She turned up there. She turned up there and rang on the doorbell. There's audio of it. Yes, she did go to their house and phone them on many occasions. So, who's pulling the strings? You know, blank faces, you're saying that stalking needs to be taken more seriously. Of course it does. But do you really think if you got stalked that you would get taken as seriously as the McCanns have nobody's saying that stalking shouldn't be taken seriously. No one knows more than me what stalking is like. It's terrible. You know, I've suffered from stalking years ago, and the police weren't interested. I was literally told by the police that until he does anything, we can't do anything. So nobody's saying that stalking shouldn't be taken seriously. Of course it should. What people are saying is, what I'm saying is, why are the McCanns getting taken more seriously than your average person would get taken? As I say, I've looked at a story today of a wife who was stalked by her ex-husband or her husband and literally rang 999 4 times in one evening, and nobody bothered to come, and she was murdered that night by her husband. Why is Julia having what seems like quite a dramatic, and I'm not saying it's wrong, I think it's good. What I'm saying is, this is not typical of the attention that people get from the police. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, who's pulling the strings of the Polish Madeleine McCann? So this apparently was on this Twitter feed or X feed, face comparison results. When using Face++, a highly accurate facial recognition technology, Julia Wandel's face was compared with that of Madeleine McCann's face, and the results came back as a very high match. Well, I don't agree with that at all. So Julia Faustina, is that, where did that name come from? Is that the name she was born with? Ahora Wendell, oh sorry, I need to read it in English, not Spanish, because you won't know. So Julia Faustina, now Wandel, best known as the Polish Madeleine McCann. That's what they call her in Spain, the Polish Madeleine McCann. She has changed ha cambiado a la estrafalaria medium per Sofia Johannesson. Oh, she's changed her, God, what would we call it in English? Her defence, if you like, or her representative. So she changed from Fia Johannesson, and now her representative is the British reporter, Surjit Sinclair. Now, I don't know anything about either of those two people. So he's the person who now is directing communication strategy of the young woman, whose face has gone around the world a couple of times. So this all started in February of 2023, didn't it? When she shared on social media that she believes she was the young girl who disappeared in 2007. So after a period of time without saying much, she has become, you know, she's reignited, hasn't she, this campaign on Instagram to publicize the supposed results of some tests of DNA that confirm that Jerry McCann is her father. But you know what? The easiest way to just dispel all that is to do a DNA test. I mean, really, there's no reason why not, is there? I mean, yeah, okay, it might feel like they're being forced to do one, but just, if that was me, come on, you just do it and just get it out of the way. Why don't they want to do it? Maybe they like the confusion. Anyway, the details line up perfectly, indicate the genetic analysis. That is what she says in the social networks. So I'm translating this as I go, in which she has shared a series of documentos. I'll end up doing Spanglish. In which she has shared a series of documents in which she details the conclusions in 3 parts. So there you go. It's all there on her Instagram. Each publication comes accompanied by a reference from Surjit Sinclair and his communication business, Effective Media Limited. I mean, do you know what? You've always got to be suspicious of people who need a media thing in it. To me, at the end of the day, that thing in her eye is in the wrong guy. That says everything. But why don't they do the DNA test? So this has led us to ask ourselves, who is this is the actual reporter speaking now. This has led us to ask ourselves, who is this man, and what can he contribute to this controversial story? Especially if we take into account that one of the specialists in communication and publicity, that he is one of the most important specialists, or the most well-known specialists in communication and publicity from Great Britain, according to his website. So during his career, Sergit has produced many titles and articles in the tabloids. With time, he has become a specialist consultant in marketing and publicity and promotion that he has developed during 10 years. He believes that Effective Media he grew or created Effective Media in 2004, where he offers a personalized strategy for each client. And on the other hand, he highlights that he dedicates his time and his abilities to help victims of judicial errors. So this is so apparently this guy who's now working for or acting on behalf of Julia, he's worked on behalf of Barry George, an innocent man who was, remember Barry George, who was accused of murdering Jill Dando, and he was released, wasn't he? Now, I don't know how much anybody knows about this person. So now this person is assessing Julia Faustina. This apparently is her original name. And she has published a series of posts on Instagram in which she details the results of a new DNA test that was released or made, comparing genetic material with what was found in the Algarve apartment in which Madeleine was kidnapped. So, shared a week ago, she explains, as my parents in Poland and Kate and Jerry McCann deny or refuse to take a DNA test, the results of my DNA were sent to a world expert that compared them with the DNA found at the scene of the crime of Madeleine McCann in Portugal. And according to Julia, the genetic analysis demonstrates I am not 100% Polish, as Fia Johansson said. So that's why she's got rid of Fia Johansson. Do you remember? Because Fia Johansson, the DNA results that were done then, said that Julia was 100% Polish. Now she's saying, no, she's not. You know, she's not 100% Polish. She says here, I am part British and part Irish. Soy parte Britannica y parte Irlandesa. So she says that she would have found a biological connection between the two individuals whose genetic materials have been compared. The compatibility is 69.23%. And the normal thing between parents and children is 50%. So the genetic evidence supports firmly that McCann could be the biological father of Julia Wandelt. So this is really what's brought it all up, isn't it? Let's have a look at this person. Who is this bloody person? Surjit Sinclair. Let's have a look. So basically, Julia tried one thing and it didn't work. So now she's trying somebody else or something else. But of course, the easiest thing would just be a DNA test, of course. So this is the person. Here we go. So according to let's have a look at images. So this is him. This is Surjit Sinclair. And he's the person who is now, according to the Spanish press, pulling the strings of Julia. Let's see if it coming. So he's a publicist, a journalist. Surjit Sinclair, personally tailored strategy for clients. Surjit Sinclair, need to share the tab, sorry. Surjit Sinclair is one of Britain's most best known and respected leading. I get vibes of Mark Williams Thomas here, I'm afraid. Anyway, I could be wrong. Based in the West Midlands, Surjit's career has taken him all over the world, working in many countries with people from all walks of life. During a long career as an investigative journalist and publicist, Serge became more involved in media and publicity, and his career to date has produced many headlines and front-page tabloid stories. He's a graduate in business studies and finance, marketing specialist consultant, and he also dedicates his time and skills to assisting victims of miscarriages of justice. And he works along many charitable organisations in the field. And that has seen Serge at the front line in so many high-profile miscarriages of justice exposures. Serge prides himself on his client media strategy with total hands-on approach to everything, giving his clients full attention and protection. So these are articles that he's had something to do with, I presume. Barry George, Gordon Ramsay, by the look of it. So there you go. Personal representation, etc. Publicity control. Is the Max Clifford of his day. Effective Media Limited. Also reminds me a bit of that at night media, in the Sebastian Rogers case, that bloody Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter. The thing is, I don't know about this. What does everyone think? Let's have a look. He does. He's like a bit of a Mark Williams Thomas, isn't he? Or that's how it feels. Is it a bit what it feels? So there you go. That, according to the Spanish media, is who is pulling Julia's strings. And you know what? I don't know if that's true, but to me, just look at this. Is a WordPress website. I'm not being funny, but it's not exactly a professional website, is it? Look, Effective Media Limited at outlook.com. Oh, come on. It's not even a proper email. There's something weird going on here. There's something weird going on. And you know what? Julia, she is a victim. I think Julia is a victim. She's a victim of people like this that are taking advantage, like YouTubers that are taking her out. Julia is just being shared around. All these men, they're all men. like trying to use her for whatever, for their own purpose. And what's happened is Julia's been arrested and she's now going to be kept in custody till April. Do you know, it's like, reminds me of Brenda all over again. I mean, I don't believe that she is Madeleine McCann, and I don't believe in stalking. But also, I do believe that Julia has been used. And I think it's too extreme for what she, you know, when you think about people who get stalked and, you know, actually end up getting murdered by their stalkers and the police do nothing. And then suddenly they're arresting someone, swooping in at the airport, arresting Julia, keeping her in custody, you know, for 6 weeks or whatever. It just seems not fair, to be honest. So, yeah, maybe Rick, if you get, but how easy is a DNA test now? It's not a great big thing, is it? It's not a big thing. You know, we're in 2025, a DNA test is nothing. It'd just stop it. I know that Ben Needham, the missing boy, his family always, their DNA is there available to make DNA tests. Come on, if your child went missing, you would want to know if somebody was your child. Of course you would want to know. Kate and Jerry, they know that Julia is not Madeleine. They know it. Well, apart from anything, the age is wrong as well. But apart from that, they know that she's not Madeleine because they know what happened to Madeleine. I don't see how people can't see it. Just seems easy to me. Do a DNA test, put it to bed. Leave your DNA there. You know, we're in 2025. It's not a great big thing. It's not even expensive, you know, to do a DNA test these days. Do it, get it out of the way. You know, I think they don't want to do it as well because they'd rather it was up in the air. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But all I know is I do feel for Julia because, you know, she's got her issues. We've all got our issues though, of course. But as well, then when I looked at this, you know, she's obviously got one of those things in her eye, but it's in the wrong eye. Her eyes are the wrong colour. Her lips are wrong. You know, she's not Madeleine McCann. But Kate and Jerry know, in my opinion, she is not Madeleine McCann. And if they don't know, if they're not sure, and they think their daughter was kidnapped and adopted maybe out somewhere, why don't they just do a DNA test? Would you? I would. I bloody would. If my daughter had been kidnapped, I'd be desperate to find out if she was really my daughter. So if you can't see that, that's strange. Anyway, so that's it. That's it for now. I'm sure there'll be more on this case and we'll be talking more about it. So Julia's there. She's going to be remanded in custody till April. Yeah, I'm not happy with that, to be honest. Just do the DNA test. Do the DNA test and sort it out once and for all. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know. Well, one thing I've learned from doing YouTube is you can't ever convince anybody. All I would say to people is, if this was you, imagine it was you, your daughter, your child, anyone had gone missing years ago, and you weren't sure. Someone turned up and said they were your child. What's the very first thing you would do? DNA test. Especially someone like Julia who does, you know, the thing is, if someone turns up and, you know, there's no way there it could be Madeleine, obviously that's not going to happen. But someone like Julia, where people are sort of, you know, speaking out in her defence and saying maybe she is, and this, that, and the other, then yeah, just do a DNA test. Why not? I just don't get the reason of why not. What difference does it make? But anyway, okay, I'm going to leave you now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being respectful to each other and to me, because we do all have different views. Cases like this, people feel very strongly about, don't they? There'll be people who will hate Julia. I've heard people, YouTubers, calling her a loser and this, that, and the other. I don't like that. She's a person who's obviously got, mental health issues. There'll be people who agree with Julia, think she is maybe Madeleine McCann. There'll be people who think it's terrible what she's done. There'll be people who think the McCanns are terrible. Everybody's got their views. Thank you for all respecting each other's views. And to me, a DNA test, boom, simples. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video, as always, which I'm sure will be as interesting. There's always something happening, isn't there? But I hope Julia's okay. I hope the McCanns are okay. I hope Amalia and Sean are okay. This case, it's awful for everyone involved. But exactly that's why the DNA test, just do it. So thanks. Please remember to leave your DNA on the like button. Don't worry, I won't use it to see if you're Madeleine McCann or not. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God, as always, go with you. Thank you.